Okay, so human resource management is actually, it starts from recruitment till we onboard the candidate. It does not stop till we onboard the candidate, but it goes beyond that, where the candidate then becomes an employee and the operations starts as a human resource management concept. So, the practice of recruiting, hiring, deploying, and managing an organization's employees is human resource management. We are in the middle of management and employees. So, what we do in layman's term is whatever decisions the management takes, what we are indulged in the decision making, we convey it to the employees and we take the actions according to the management. So, we are human resource management, we are people management. Okay, so departments of HR. So there are HR is a vast concept. Human resource is actually a very big concept where we are divided into segments. So we have recruitment as a big department. It's also called as talent acquisition. So what we do in recruitment is we hire the right talent for the companies. So the process starts from the management giving us the requirement that there is a requirement for a person to do this particular job. So what we do in recruitment is a concept that we source for the potential candidate, we interview the candidate, we shortlist them, and then once the shortlisted candidate is offered and he joins, the process of recruitment is completed. Then we have administration. Admin is a department where it takes care of all the operations that are conducted in the company, the admin, the back office, the data, the filings, the any if there is any lot of things that happens in the companies like rewards and recognition, some events that happens, vendor management is the department of admin. Then we have training and development. Training is a part when the candidate is turned into an employee. The process of getting him into the system, training him to know the process of the particular organization is an entire department. Of course, it's in big companies. So they have an entire module of training where the particular candidate, when he comes in the system, he is onboarded in the system of the organization. The training process is conducted. After, of course, whenever there are, suppose an IT company where there are different technologies that emerges in the market, so the particular group of people or employees are also given training on the new emerging technologies and the projects that are coming. So, new hire onboarding. Onboarding is also a different type of department wherein the procedures that are conducted, the background verification is done for the candidate. The process where the reference checks are done, the reference checks is where calling couple of people whom the candidate has been associated with the previous or the organizations he has worked with. That reference check is also done before the candidate is onboarded. Then we have disciplinary action. Of course, this is a very good and a must department in HR, where once the candidate is an employee now, the grievances, the engagement, the performance of the employee, how well he gels with the colleagues, what are the 360-degree feedbacks. So everything has to be conducted by an organization to see that the candidate, the employee is now in the process of the organization and is happy and is performing well. Okay, so here is a quick scope of HR. So there are around 5 types of scopes. One is employee recruitment and selection, because I told you about this. Employee training and development, employee performance management. So performance management is done by management plus HR as whole segment, wherein the HR gives their inputs to the management about how the performance is done. The management then gives their inputs about how well he has performed in the project or how well he has been performing well in the client segment. So once that is done, then the appraisal is done. So this is a good management. Employee performance management is must in any organization. Compensation and benefits department. So compensation is benefits is the payroll and other benefits that the company offers. So payroll and operations is altogether another department of HR, where the people who whose attendance is managed, or salaries are calculated, the ESI, CPF, are all the benefits, insurances, are the benefits that are provided to the employees is considered in this segment. Then industrial relations, of course, this is manufacturing, company law, where industrial relations are maintained by the union to see that the management and the employees that are working together are in good harmony and there is no problem or no grievances that are arised. Okay, so let's come to the main point, that's technologies used by HRs in the company post-COVID. So, as you know, COVID got us all at one place at our home, and eventually, when the things opened up, we had to take in some actions. We had to manage ourselves and it's a bit differently. So, we had to take in consideration some technologies that gave the employees that were working for us a bit relief, wherein they could work simultaneously staying at home and use this kind of technologies where remote working was possible for employees. So now, as you see, most of the companies were working with remote, technologies wherein they have given their systems, their internets, and we'll see video conferencing tools. Everyone has heard about Zoom. Everyone has heard about Google Meet. Okay. So what these tools do? These tools are acting as a medium of video conferencing, acting as a medium of interview techniques for us, acting as a medium of meetings, daily meetings that are conducted, the team meetings that are conducted. So these have also helped us. Instant messaging tools. You all have heard about Teams? Microsoft Teams. Okay. So Microsoft Teams is altogether a new tool that helps us maintain the data. It gave us a cloud access to maintain the data. Plus, Slack is also an type of app which gave us access to all the employees. We could just put the employee code and everyone was on one single page and could text each other. It was like a really good thing that came up for an organization. An HR had to take in consideration this, and where smooth communication was conducted between the employees. Cloud storage. Cloud storage is actually very good. It's a rule that came to notice in this new period of COVID, and where everything was remote. We could actually save our files on cloud, where everyone could access the same without giving them like some people had access to it, where we could manage who could see the files and who would not. So, time and activity tracking tools that the HR had to take in consideration was for the employees, wherein they had to log in at their job in the morning and at the end they had to log out. So, these tools like ActiveTrack and InterGuard, these are the two tools that came into the market, wherein it was very helpful for us to maintain their attendance and records. Also to see how many hours an individual employee has worked. So even if there was no fraction of mouse for 10 seconds also, then there was a notification that went saying that the mouse is still of any employee. So then we had to conduct that what exactly happened. So this is actually a very good tool to manage the employee's working 9 to 6. VPN tools. So VPN is virtual private network. So this is mainly done in IT companies, wherein they create an entire virtual network for their entire employees, where all the employees have access to the dashboard. So they have to go online on the virtual private networks, and entirely after the day is over, they have to log out. So these also came in, light in the COVID times and helped us as an HR to keep a track about what was exactly happening in the company by sitting at home. So this is now being continued after we are back to office also, where some people are not accessible. We still use this, and this has become a part of our daily curriculum and has helped us at ease. And also a lot of things that were happening manually has gone now on record in this as a files. So we as HR have been benefited by this tools and technology that has evolved.
I have been given the topic of talking on retail. Yes, I do handle retail as a part of my business, but a large part of my career or work has been in distribution and other allied parts of marketing. So I'm going to give you a few ideas and insights from what experience I've had in my career in the last 15-20 years. Like we've heard today from Father and previously as well, we've heard about change being the only constant. And that is so true. As things change, the more things change, as we've heard, the more they remain constant. But there are two things that I think all of you will agree, which is happening, which is sure to be in the case of all colleges, all students across the world. The ladies from the senior batch are always more luckier than the ones that you ask. That is something that never changes. You ask anybody, you ask your elder cousins also, they tell you the same. And our batch is the most brilliant batch. This is something you hear everyone always say. Amche batch zali ajamali, that college went down. Our batch was the best. After that, we didn't have any good students in our college. So this is something that is a part of things that happen in our world. 20 years back, 30 years back in sales, we've heard sales professionals saying, our times it was completely different. We used to not have all these computers, we did not have all this emails, etc. We used to call in the evening, there used to be phone calls at 8 o'clock every night. We used to work hard. What we all do now, everything is on mail, everything is on WhatsApp. That's so true. The way that we are doing sales today has completely changed. 20 years back when I started my sales career, it was all about relationship management. How I managed the relationship with my customers was very important. How I knew his birthday, how I knew the various nuances about the way he died was very important. Today, the strength of a company is not the strength of the relationship that your sales force maintains, but the strength of the CRM software. So as things change, the more things remain constant, but the relationship is the constant, but the way we handle it does continue to change. The other part of this, that we're talking about today is apart from change is technology. We're standing on the precipice today where we're having discussions about technology. Today, I look at it as vis-a-vis, about 300 years ago, the Industrial Revolution. At that time, probably, the way things people were thinking were, are the machines going to rule us? How big the machines are going to get bigger? Are they going to rule us? Are they going to be, so untellable to work on that they will start becoming bigger than us? The famous debate between Tesla and Edison about AC and DC current. The interesting part at that time was not about how the current will be used, but how the dangers of AC or the dangers of DC to humankind. Similarly, today on this, like I said, we are on the precipice of discussing how artificial intelligence. We are talking about a stage where, I think it was Google that created a software where they had two bots that talk to each other and they created their own language. So we are reaching a stage today where technology, where we might never know in the next 10, 15, 20 years, AI is definitely going to be there. In the next 10, 20, 30, 50 years, we are reaching a stage where we are afraid that AI might be ruling us. We are reaching a stage of, the Terminator, the movie. So that's another thought that we are looking at in terms of technology. So the one thing that strikes me and one thing that I feel is the most important, and what is essentially business? Essentially business is about efficiency and effectiveness, right? So the way we adapt and we innovate to opportunities and problems is the way we're going to be able to tackle and change and use opportunities in technology to ride this wave of change in technology, things that happen. So I'm going to give you the few thoughts that I have done. Apart from all data and information, is available on Google. So it will be futile for me to just take down and recite it over here. I'm going to give you a few examples of what I have done, in retail that might strike a seed of thought in your mind. So one problem that I faced was that it's the world of e-commerce today, right? And it's a madness if somebody is going to compete with it. So Just like, if a teacher is going to tell, if, for example, Ashrekar sir were to tell Tendulkar how to deal with the likes of Kapil Dev and Dennis Levy, I'm sure Tendulkar would not have become the great that he had. Tendulkar became the great that he was, not just because of the teachings of his teacher, but also because he adapted along the way to look at things that were going on in his time. So that is how he was able to hook Shoaib Akhtar for a six and not get worried about the pace and not get worried about the ball hitting his face, right? So how you use the competitor, how you use the problem of the day, how you use that as opportunities using technology is how you know how you will come up on the problem. It is not the high tide or the wave. If you look at it as a problem, you're going to get submerged and you'll drown. If you're a good surfer, you will know the surfing techniques to ride that wave and go around it without falling. So the idea is to use technology, is to use the wave of change and ride it, not get submerged or drowned in it. So one thing I did was when I realized that it's the time of e-commerce. What we've started doing in our retail business, I was introduced to ABD, ACs, TVs, fridge, water purifiers. We have about 18 categories, and each category has about 3 brand leaders, and each brand leader has in the washing machine space itself. We have top loading, front loading, semi, auto, a lot of that, right? 3 brands. So you can imagine each brand itself, each product itself will lead to about 200, 300 square meters of space. So what do? I have that much. I have about 25 square meters of space. What do? I realized one thing. The mantra that I told myself is inventory is a devil. I told myself inventory is evil. I will look at reducing inventory. I will look at keeping inventory as low as possible. Then what will I do? People are going to come to me, look at my washing machine, and then go, in half an hour and tell me, oh, I'm getting it cheaper online. I realize that everybody's educated, and especially in a place like Goa, everybody's educated. Everybody's got a mobile phone. Statistics tell us that there are more mobile phones in Goa than people. Yeah. So I tell people now, you're looking for something, you know what you're looking for? Chances are 90% of the time, yes, they know what they're looking for. I ask them, send me a screenshot of what you're looking for. So when somebody sends me a screenshot of what you're looking for, I know the product, I know the price, I know what I have to compete on. I am competing today. The way, not just I don't want to sound egoistic about it, but this is the way a lot of us offline retailers have started adapting today, is that we're looking for customers to tell us the product and the price. We're not wasting our time anymore in talking to it, showing it, removing it from the box. So we are tightening out the chain, we're tightening out the technology of e-commerce by coming about it, by asking the competitor to collaborate with us, against our competitor. This is an interesting thing again. So when I told you this story, there's an interesting antithesis to this story. About a year ago, we did an ad on dishwashers. So dishwashers is something that we were not selling. My reports that came out every quarterly, and we found out that, this is a product we're not selling at all. So we did an ad on Facebook, and the ad was, I hope you'll forgive me for that. The ad was that, there's a lovely woman, looking seductively at her husband. And she's telling him, honey, after dinner, let's do it in the kitchen tonight. So the husband, in the next slide, the husband very quickly, gets around her. And she says, here are the dishes, let's do them tonight. So, and then the third slide was, be intelligent, get a dishwasher, keep your wife happy. So we did this ad, and trust me, we were getting inquiries previously about dishwashers. But this was around August or so last year. Between August and December, we sold 12 dishwashers. And the only reason we didn't do more is because dishwashers come from Turkey. For some reason, Bosch or, they get it from Turkey. And we didn't have raw materials or something of that sort, so they couldn't supply. But we sold 12, which is, we had not sold 12 in the last 6 years of being in the business. So that's huge. But we realized one more thing, that we had inquiries for about 25. So my hit rate was 50%, which is not the case. Usually we have a hit rate of more than 80%. So I went about personally calling up the remaining 13 people who did buy from us. And I asked them, so what is the reason you didn't buy this, that, etc. We lost a few because we did not have stock when the order was placed. But we lost a lot because people, when they wanted to come to us, they wanted to see, touch and feel that dishwasher. So the concept that I told you previously about inventory being evil and I don't want to keep anything and I just sell it through catalogs, it turned on its head about this product. Why? because this is a product in the product life cycle which hadn't reached, that I don't know the exact word, but it hadn't matured yet. So it was just in the discovery phase for the consumers, and they wanted to touch, feel, and see it before making the decision to buy a 40,000 rupee dishwasher. We ended up helping because those 88 people of them went and bought from Chroma. We had Chroma sell. So a lot of times, if you're the lower player in the market and you're doing a good ad campaign, you better have stock and you better be, equipped. You better have a good quartermaster behind you in the war room to help you out. Otherwise, you'll end up helping your competitor. That is another learning for me in this thing. We all know about the AIDA model, right? In the advertising model. So, am I good on time? We have this thing that we use on Facebook we use the AIDA model on Facebook. So, as a company, I am very clear. We don't use a radio, we don't use a TV, I don't use Prudent or Indua, or I don't use a Radio Mirchi or any of that. I don't use the newsprint. I just use the social media. And we have about 8,000 followers on Facebook today because it's assiduously built. We're asking our existing customers, their families, their friends, and we keep pushing out to our segmented. We know about the STP, right? Segmentation, targeting, marketing, positioning, STP. So we use that, and we use the AIDA model to get ourselves discovered, create an awareness, create interest, create a desire, and create an action to buy our products on Facebook. So this is what big companies are doing as well. You and I will talk about a mobile phone today, and within half an hour you get an ad from Samsung or from Oppo on Facebook. How is that happening? Because you're being listened to. So that's something the big companies are doing. They have the funds for it. Why can't the smaller companies do something like that? We thought about that. So instead of that, I can't use that kind of big millions and whatever kind of money that's required. So we started using ideas where, so I see, there's one stuff I tell, you just skip to the newspaper every day in the morning. Wherever there's a power cut, so if I know that there's going to be a power cut in Aldona tomorrow, I'm going to run an inverter ad in Aldona. This is the way, and this is the only way on advertising that I have created sales for myself. And I hope nobody's relatives are in the inverter business yet because I don't want to tell a very secret. So this is something that we did for the inverter business, and we got a lot of traction, we got a lot of inquiries and a lot of sales because we use this the platform for social media to create advertising for ourselves. So I'll end my few words of talk over here. Just a few ideas that might be the future that I know about. We're looking at fast tag today. I bought a car and I paid about 5,000 or something for getting a fast tag. The days of standing by, waiting with a ticket, getting a ticket for 30 rupees is gone. It's going to get fast tag. So maybe the future is going to be about in retail as well, where you have a cashierless system. We might not have cashiers, we might just whatever product automatically gets tagged and you get billed to your account directly if you are linked to that particular supermarket of your choice. We're looking at today a salesman, you go to a car showroom or you want to go to my showroom tomorrow and you want to buy a mixer or you want to buy a washing machine. Today the opportunity is you can go on YouTube, get a 3D view, get an experiential feel of a lot of products and save your time and save customer the time of the showroom person. And we're looking at drone deliveries, which might turn out to be. I'm actually looking at this to happen in a big way because today parking a car in a place like Panji or anywhere is really a problem. So if I can get the benefit of something like a drone delivery, already a lot of our suppliers are using carpooling. I'm pooling with another guy in Panji. Whenever I have to deliver something to a place like Walpai, which is far away, and we do deliveries together. And how is that happening? Because we have a software, we have a WhatsApp group where we post vehicles leaving from a Pasco in the next 2 days. And we get a reply, I've got so and so 2 boxes. So we are doing that and we are using technology to our benefit. I'll end with these few words. Thank you very much.
These are exciting times to be young. And I wish I was 25 years younger or 25 years old. So good morning. I'll just add to the thing that not everything is constant, not everything changes. Debt and taxes are constants. So whatever you do, you're going to stop, and other you're going to have to pay your taxes, and I see a lot of you are going to be joining that gang soon. So when I started, I was at the cusp of new change in India at that time. Dr. Manmohan Singh had changed the rules. We had moved from a very controlled economy to an open economy. So when I went to study at the Asian Institute of Management, I was told that it cost 36 rupees to buy $1. That was the rate. With Dr. Manmohan Singh, it became free. At that time, it was less free than it is today, but it was free. So things changed. When I was studying, it made no sense to study cross-cultural fluctuations and all, cross-currency fluctuations. But when I came back, it was the order of the day. I happened to be in Goa at that time, and I saw that there were industrial estates coming up in Goa. There was some subsidy being given. So I thought, why not? I've been doing it. Now that the situation has changed, why not start? And I, against all sane advice, how can you manufacture in Goa? That was the basic question. And today, 27 years later, we proved it is possible. And I hope that more people will take up manufacturing, because while everything today says E, you ultimately have to make something to sell. So you can have e-com, but if you don't have the fridge, if you don't have the camera, if you don't have anything, how are you going to sell on it? There's only so many yellow pages in my book that you can print. That's it. So students should think about manufacturing, because whatever happens in the e-commerce space, you won't have to make it. So that's an opportunity. When I started manufacturing, one is, did you look at change and say, okay, I'll follow the change. The other is, why don't you make the change? So when I went to started my manufacturing business and I was trying to sell my products, I realized that everybody already had tanks in their storeroom. They had a godown full of tanks. And here I was going to offer another truckload of tanks. So I changed. I said, no, we will deliver to your customer what he wants. So you don't have to bother about stocking. If anybody knows anything about Goa, then you're going to be up against one of the biggest problems that we face, even till today, and that is logistics or transportation. I mean, you can't find a cab these days at a reasonable price. I wanted to take a tank from Saregaon to Pilar. The cost in those days was 1,000 rupees for the transport, and the tank cost 1,000 rupees. So I strapped it to my bike and I got it delivered. But you can't do that all the time. So I had to find some solution, and I found that I talked to the guys who had the vehicles, and I was able to convince one chap who then worked with me for the next 50 odd years, 22 odd years, that he would deliver my tank based on the size of the tank. And it didn't matter to you as a customer it was fixed. I could, otherwise imagine I'm selling a tank in Albana and I have to decide the price of the transport. The customer would not buy. So till today, we deliver all over Goa at a fixed cost based on the size, and now today we do based on kilometer, and my drivers or the owners of the vehicle are happy. But I had to change their mindset and their thinking. So just making was not enough, we also had to do other things.
How do you get the energy going when you need to power something? How do you get the energy going? Come on. Some energy. Movement, does the movement get energy going? Yeah? So give me a high 10. High, it has to be high. Yeah? Does sound get energy going? Have you been in one of those speeches or talks where the speaker comes and says, good morning, and then what happens? And then there's no response back. So what does the speaker do? They say, good morning, and then what happens? Then what happens? Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. Yeah, that's what happens, right? But I'm not going to be one of those speakers.
I'm just going to spell out something to you, and then you need to shout it back to me. I don't think Principal Father has any problem with noise, right? Today in this hall. HELLO. Thank you. To the next one, I want a response. HOW. AREYOU. I just want to make sure that you're paying attention. We've had three brilliant panelists. They've given their words of wisdom, and all you need to do is be super attentive. Is that tough? Is it tough to be super attentive? Yes, it's just a sign of respect. Eunice, I'm happy to see you. Rachel, I'm happy to see you. Abigail, I'm happy to see you. Hi, I'm happy to see you too. You've got a mask on, so you don't hear me. But I'm going to speak to you about marketing. Now, marketing is not as elegant and classy a word as communication. So, in my head, in my mind, and the way it's panned out for me, marketing has been about communication, right? Have you heard people say you need to market yourself? At this age and stage in your life, you must be needed to market yourself. Yeah? You need to sell yourself. What does that mean? Rachel, I'm so glad I've been around, but just a minute. I have never been on the stage before thanking from the bottom of my heart Father Joachim for listening to me 4 years back when I said, I know you don't know me, but I want to be coming and interacting with students. Give me a chance. Thank you so much for allowing me at that stage. Thank you, Dr. Cedric, for all the trust over the last 4.5 years. And thank you, Nigel, for saying the most wonderful, encouraging words to me. As an entrepreneur, I'm a very small business, but you make me look really big in front of the students. And when you meet me, I'm ever grateful for this communication that comes to me. It just powers me, fuels me, ever grateful. And thank you to all these wonderful faces I see in front of me. 4.5 years back, I came here wanting to be interacting with students, never having done it before. I'm so grateful that you are there, sitting in the audience, listening with your entire hearts and entire minds, hoping to get some value from this. Okay, that's it. My son was around 7.5, 8 years old, and he would come back from school every day, and he'd sit at home waiting for me to come home. And I come back from Mumbai, where I was working, after 8 hours of work and 4 hours of travel. And one day he asked me, he said, Mama, what is the work that you do? You come back after 12 hours, what do you do? I said, David, I work. I sit in the office with everybody else. So he was trying to imagine it, obviously. And he worked. He said, what do you do? So when you say work is labor, right? Physical work to a child. I said that, if we open our laptops, our computers, and we work. And he was shocked out of his wits. He said, do all of you sit down on one chair and tap on keys the whole day? Is that work? And can you imagine how brilliant it is for a child to imagine that that is what we define as work today? And that's what technology has led us to. Isn't that right? That is what technology has led us to. Now, because this, to me, marketing is about communication, I really want you to communicate back to me. This is like Mr. Kosabi said very rightly, you need to be able to speak your mind. You need to be able to say, this is what I'm thinking. You need to be able to say, this is what I want to do. Tell me more about what you're doing. You need to be able to say it. Nobody cares if you make a mistake. We surely don't, because we've had 2 decades of making mistakes and we're fine with them, right? So be comfortable. That's the only request. Be comfortable with yourself. Be comfortable in communication. Because whatever you do going forward, you will need to market yourself. Which means you will need to speak. If there is one thing we can never stop doing, it is communicating. So even if I choose to stand very uncomfortable, I'm still communicating my discomfort, right? So there is no way we cannot communicate. Everything, every action is communication. Yeah? I'll tell you who's my competition as a marketing, branding, communication person who helps businesses to grow by building their communication, right? And when I say communication, everything that you need to build your brand image, talk about your products and services, be out on social media, put up a website, design a logo, everything is communication, whether it's visual or verbal, right? Yes, no? Energy. More energy. Thank you. It's amazing how our professions or what we choose to do with our lives define our personalities, isn't it? The reason I'm telling you is you need to be aware of it and be comfortable with the thought of your personalities evolving and changing to suit what you choose to do in life. Many years back, I used to be called Miss Mouse because I was so silent, right? And I want to forget that bit of me. So you need to figure out what's that bit of you that you need to forget to be able to do what you want to do, which is go out to the world and make magic. Yeah? You need to have that confidence and comfort. This is not a motivation talk. Yes, I'm going to be talking to you about marketing, which I call communication. So my competition is you, because you've got technology at your beck and call. You have mastered it. We are still sorting our lives around it. But we're getting there, right? But you are faster. Guess who's your competition? Because you need to understand when you sit silently there, and I know that you're listening. I know that you're absorbing information. But tell me who your competition is. I've said this before in a previous session. Nigel, tell me. Ourselves, yes, we should be better than ourselves. And self-reflection helps that process. But your competition is also the 12-year-olds who are going on YouTube, who are creating their Instagram accounts, who are so confident and comfortable talking about themselves, who are making videos about gaming and about everything else because they are 2 steps ahead from you as far as technology is concerned. So you need to be aware. You need to be aware who's before you and who you can learn from. But you also need to be aware that you've got this wonderful set of really confident pre-teenagers who are coming up really fast with confidence and communication. Yeah? So we need to build that. About marketing, I started 20 years back. 2 decades ago, I remember sitting in the back of those big trucks. Airtel had launched in Mumbai, and my agency, our company, had got the project of making Airtel visible across Mumbai. So from Kalvadevi to Jogeshwari to every part of that difficult city, we were sitting in the back of trucks, loading those huge branding, hoardings, right? Going to shops and saying, can we put it up? It didn't matter whether we were ladies, gentlemen, too young, too old, it didn't matter. It was a job. We had to do it. Yes, so that was my experience with traditional marketing. We also, when we handled Samsung as a client, we went to every small little retail store, and there were thousands of them, with printed leaflets talking about the latest products. Huge bags on the shoulder in the morning, climb in a very, very, very crowded train, save that little bag of yours, and then walk down the streets giving out leaflets to this retail store saying, these are the Samsung products, we already have them in store, we've created the branding for it, please click the set of flyers. Can you even imagine a world like that? Where you needed to physically keep the content around, when today we've got visual marketing doing a really fancy job for us, right? Yeah, and I also figured out when, do you know these multi-brand outlets? So you want to buy a television or one of your products, you go into a store and then you have multiple, you have multiple products of different brands, right? So different brands are selling the same product. So I've been around at that time where our challenge was if a customer enters into your store, I want them to buy the Samsung products. How do I draw them in? Because they enter the shop, I need to create some attractive visual merchandising. Do you know, in marketing, have you heard of visual merchandising? So we come from that era of marketing. And now where we are, where at the palm of your hand, you can place digital marketing ads, you can figure out from the leads that you get from a campaign, the wonderful campaign that you spoke about, the magic that it can work just from you sitting there on your laptop, right? That's what technology has done. And it'll be interesting to discuss with Alicia later on how probably it can be taken forward. So thank you so much. Thank you for the energy, and I will hand it over back to Alicia.
So if you have to make a choice between an apple and a banana, what will be your choice? Suppose somebody is giving you, showing you two fruits and asking you to choose between a banana and an apple. What will you choose? Okay, so I'm hearing an apple, correct? So it's a natural tendency of every human being that given a choice, you will choose something which is better or something which is more valuable. So maybe a banana may be more valuable at a given point of time, but you are valuing the apple more at a general given point of time. So during your lifespan, how many lives you have? You have just one life, right? So in this one life, you have to make a choice of your 10. And the problem today is we are looking at certain situations in life where we are trying to get into a job scenario, or we are trying to get a job in some, maybe a company, maybe the government or some sector. And what are the issues with jobs? First of all, unemployment, difficult to get. Second, even if you get a job, there is a lot of unemployment. So what it literally means is, you take up a job, you are trained for a certain program, but the job you take up is much lesser than that. And the most common of all is unsatisfactory employment. You get into a job and you are not happy being there, and you want to change that job. And you ask anybody, right from, if the person, the lowest rank person will employ, right to the CEO of the company, he will say, okay, I want to do something else. Why is it so? It is so because every human being aspires for something which is unlimited, which is more than what he has got now. And the opportunity when you work for somebody or when you are instructed to do certain things based on certain rules and regulations is that you will not be able to exhibit your own skills or talents or all your competencies. So that frustrates you and you want to go to a place where you can exhibit. So what I am coming to is, trying to say is, among the various career options, entrepreneurship is the best option because it allows you so many things. Then why we don't have so many entrepreneurs? There may be many reasons. See, one of the fundamental reasons could be, fear of failure. What happens if I am not able to start a business and run it correctly or be successful? So can you tell me one entrepreneur who has been successful with this first venture? You take Steve Jobs, you take Richard Branson, you take Jack Ma, you take Bill Gates, you take all the big players in the people who are supposed to be great entrepreneurs, role models in the world. They have gone through successive failures before they have started something. Now the question here is, can you afford to make mistakes in today's life? Can I make mistakes? Can I make multiple mistakes and come to a stage where I say, okay, fine, this is something which I want to pursue in my life? Before getting there, let us try to understand what generally entrepreneurship is or how it is layered. So in any given scenario, let's take an example of a tea shop or a cup of tea. Somebody is selling a cup of tea. So if you are in a place where there aren't many people, say like in a forested place, and you are the first one who comes and sets up a tea shop, people are walking that way. Because there is just one tea shop, they will come and have the tea from your place, correct? So that is where we will say it is a business. So people don't mind about hygiene and so many other factors, and they just want to consume a cup of tea. Suppose a school comes up in that place, a hospital comes up in that place, many more people are traveling that place. Suddenly you find many more shops have come up. Then the factors of production come into place. Is it cheaper? Is it better? Is it hygienic? And so many other reasons. And we will call that kind of business as an enterprise. And suddenly you will find that the place has grown so much, there is so much development in that place, that could be another layer which could be added. And suddenly you find there is somebody who says, you go on your mobile, plug on your mobile, ask for a cup of tea, ask for a flask of tea, and we will come to your place. Now that has happened on a layer which is based on technology. Suppose the GPS system is not there. If they are not able to identify which place to come and give it to you, and if they are not able to keep that cup of tea or a flask of tea in a hot frame or a hot pot or whatever product they are using, the technology they are using to keep it hot, then this whole thing will have a failure. So what I am trying to tell you is that as we move from a very backward to a medium place to a very advanced market of situation, the layers of technology helps us to become the leaders and to scale the business. So you might have heard the word of startup. So basically what I'm trying to talk about is startup. So the meaning of startup, what is the meaning of a startup? Startup is not starting a business. It is not just about starting a business. Startup fundamentally means you are exploring the opportunity of starting a business which is scalable. Because you have one life, you want to be best in the world, you want to maximize your profit, you want to be super good in that. And how can you become the best? How can you expand and scale very high? You can scale it only by using technology. So today we have been talking about technology in business. So unless technology plays a role, unless technology comes into business, it is not going to disrupt, it is not going to scale. Just take, traditional businesses. Today we are talking about cars. Just imagine that you have started using, not imagine, you have already started using electrical vehicles. And today electrical vehicles have around 50 to 60 parts. Whereas a normal vehicle has 2000 parts. And electrical, if the vehicle goes bad, you just put out something and you put something in. So all the garages are going to die. So disruption is going to happen. So unless technology plays a role, it is not going to work. The business is not going to scale up. Now we also spoke about one element, that was why technologies fail. Technologies fail many times, or why businesses fail. Businesses fail many times, and we are also responsible for it. You have not been trained enough, you have not been given enough experience to fail when you start your business. The moment you start your business and you fail, we say, okay, you are a failure. But that's not the case. Everybody who has been successful have gone through failures. You also come through failures. Once you go through those failures, it becomes very easy for you to identify what is the right fit, what is the right benefit, or the right business I should get into. And FIRE is a place where I work, and this is the place where we support entrepreneurs, and we provide space for people to work out of. We provide them a little bit of funding at a very early stage, even to fail. We provide you guidance with the help of experts, with the help of mentors, people who understand business and so on. And the last 4 years we have helped around 122 startups, funded around 25 of them. Maybe 5-6 of them have really done well. And I'm proud to say these people are going to change this world. So that is the future for you. And then as the Spaniards have said, this is the best time for you to start your business. Because when 2012 I went to a college and told, sir, I want to take a session for the students on entrepreneurship. The principal told me, okay, you can talk to the people who have backs or who have not passed or who are free. Don't talk to the brilliant ones. Today that's not the case. Everybody is talking about entrepreneurship. Everybody is telling you to start. We are there to support you. You ask any person in this universe, if you have an idea, they want to help you. That's the way the world is looking at you. So this is a great opportunity. Please make use of this.
Alright, so we've got some brilliant insights thrown by all of our panelists to each of you. So we are now going to move into the questions. Since we're a little behind time, we're going to have a few questions that I will put their way, and then we will open it up to you to interact with your panelists. Okay? So, as they pointed out, modern technology has had a great impact on business. And yet, if we notice the trend, while other cities across India are increasingly adopting all of these tools and technologies, in Goa particularly, we seem to be lagging behind. So, Ms. Sia, I'd like to begin with you. Online interviews, application tracking systems, like you pointed out, a lot of things are available and came into the picture during COVID. But why are some companies, and a lot of them in Goa, still hesitant to move towards these approaches?
We are in the race. Okay, so we are getting there, but we are not yet there. See, we as a Goa, we are not a metro city wherein we have a lot of companies that are MNCs and where all these things are listed. But it is not the case that we are not changing. Of course, there are a lot of companies that have taken help of ABS. A lot of companies that are now being, in that process wherein they can automate it. But it will take time. It will take time because there has to be some process in place. First of all, everyone is doing everything manually before. Everything was manual before COVID. And there has to be trainings and everything given to an HR as a particular to learn these systems. So we are getting there. We are not there as yet, but I think people are changing now. People are changing the process. The thinking process is changed. Wherein now even if for the application tracking system, many companies are going ahead and taking it. See, it is not that it's not a rocket science. It's a software, okay? And technology is not perfect every time. So application tracking systems also, there are a lot of errors and account that we have to take in consideration. So I think it is the process, the time will change, and a lot of trainings after, we will get there. We will get there, and it will take time, but I think the process has started. HRs are already, hands-on with the softwares, HRs are already there, getting there, but yes, we will be there in short span of time.
And just a follow-up question to that, would you say there are certain drawbacks to these systems? As Mr. Kostabi pointed out, even when you're speaking about video conferencing, the human relationship or seeing the person in front of you and interacting with them is different as opposed to seeing them on a screen. And this is something we encountered when we were conducting interviews for our BBA students last year. The person we see on the screen doesn't always end up being the person who we encounter in the classroom with the rest of the students. So would you say there are some drawbacks to this technological advancement that we are talking about? Particularly in the line of HR, of course, understanding employees, recruitment, and so on.
Yes, there are a lot of drawbacks when it comes to an HR department. It's like we are human, we need human touch. There are a lot of grievances, a lot of things that has to be taken in consideration when you meet certain people. Even when we conduct interviews, the first preliminary round is a video call but we make a point that the next round, somehow we need to meet that person to gauge his, some skills that are not being gauged in the Zoom call or a Teams call, like his body language, or sometimes, we get to know his dressing sense, how he performs, like in the interview personally. So, as technology is emerging, I'm sure AI will get that in this process as well. But yes, we need to have some kind of human touch that is necessary for us in this period where we need to gauge some certain aspects as an HR point of view. I'm telling you, that is not being done by Zoom call. We tend to take some interviews, technical interviews as such, but when it comes to HR round, we make sure that we meet people and then take a decision. So we are yet to be there yet, but I don't think human resources will be replaced by any kind of technology sooner.
Alright, thank you so much. So when we talk about technological advancement, the easiest and the first thing that we think about is digital marketing. Because digital marketing has revolutionized the way marketing used to happen. So coming to that arena, if I may ask you the next question, do you feel digital marketing is all that marketing needs, or do you feel we still need to move somewhere ahead in terms of advancement in the field of marketing? And if you feel that, where exactly, what kind of innovations do you see happening in this time?
Thank you so much. Hi, everyone still awake? Just a health check, yeah? Who's sitting right at the end there? Do you use social media? Do you talk on social media? Like, do you put your captions and your photos and all that? Or are you just checking out other people's feeds? Are you? Yes, no? Do you see products being sold on social media? Are you on LinkedIn? Are you impressed with certain people and not with others? Alright. It all sounds good from where I'm sitting because I've been in the industry for 20 years and I have seen Alicia that digital marketing is a big fancy word, but at the same time it's a very powerful word as well because like I said earlier, it gives us the opportunity to do much more. It gives us the opportunity to reach much larger audiences. I quote this example in many meetings I go to during the pandemic. We were contacted by organizations located in Dubai. They used to conduct communication skills classes for students, making them confident, right? So parents used to say, go to the class, they used to come to a classroom, and then they used to get all empowered with confidence because they were learning communication. What happened during the pandemic? They were sitting at home and getting unconfident? Yeah? So the institute got really worried. They said, yes, we need to make money and keep our employees paid, but at the same time, we started with a mission of empowering students with communication. We know what's happening with them being at home and not being able to come for these classes, right? And they said, and they've been around for 22 long years. She said to me, the founder, she said, Reena, I'm actually considering shutting down. You help me understand digital marketing and then I'll think about whether we can have another lease of life. For the last 3-4 years now, it's been very satisfactory for us to say that we help them to take their entire business model online. And the great thing that happened was now they didn't need to depend on students coming from Dubai alone. They could reach out to students across the world. So that is the power of digital marketing and communication, Alicia. And wonderful people sitting in the audience, you know the power of it because you do purchase or you are impressed with what social media influencers are telling you on Instagram, isn't it? You're the Instagram generation. But because I've been in the industry, Alicia, I'm sure everyone who's been around as long as I have, and because I've had the distinct advantage and privilege of having been into merchandising, the above the line advertising, which you see on hoardings and televisions, as well as below the line, where you go to supermarkets and sell your customers' products. I understand that there is so much more power to doing much more.
and that power is called curation and customization. Imagine that you start a business tomorrow, right? And there will be so many things that hit you. One is your product or your service. How do my product needs to be the best, my service needs to be the best. So you're thinking about your product and service, but then it's totally useless if you don't know how to market it. If you don't know how to take this to the right audience, your wonderful product and service is of no use, right? Then there is the entire budgeting that you need to do around it. Should I be on Instagram? Should I be on LinkedIn? Should I put a hoarding? Should I do radio spots? There's so much that goes into promoting and building a business. Imagine a situation where you could have your brand on the palm of your hand, where at the click of a button I would say, okay, 3 years back, this is the budgets that I spent on it, these were the campaigns, this is how they panned out for me, these were the number of customers I got. If I'm employing a marketing agency today, what is the data that I can send to them at the click of a button? Imagine a situation where there are these events that happen year after year. So your cosmocrat, it happens year after year. Is there a repository of data where you can save time and money because what you did 1 year back, 2 years back, 3 years back is all there, and you just tweak it, you repurpose it, and it's out there to be executed at the click of a button. Now that is the world that I'm imagining for technology, and I intend to take it to places. And I'm imagining that they always say that when you have an idea, there are 5 other people thinking about it at the same time. You need to be quick, right? But it is possible. The great thing about technology is that it expands our mind, it expands our possibilities, it expands opportunities. So you just need to be sharp on the uptake and be there when it's happening. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Reena. That was definitely a lot that you gave us to process. But coming to the point that you mentioned 10 steps forward in terms of what marketing can do. So does that mean all the traditional forms of marketing would become obsolete?
Not at all. So again, during the pandemic, there was a brand that came to us, Mumbai-based, saying we want to launch a herbal product in Goa. And because it was a brand that has been coming to Goa and selling herbal Ayurvedic products to our tourists, right, to the Russians specifically for years, they knew it's a profitable business. But unfortunately, they launched in 2019. So by the time 2020 hit them, they were in trouble. But the product was already manufactured. They had to sell it to a market because it's got expiry date. So they said, what can we do about it, right? Right from hoardings, designing their hoardings, to writing their radio scripts, to going to every pharmacy and supermarket in town is what we did for them, saying, let's make the brand visible. Let Indians and Goans who are around, let them know the benefits of herbal products. I wouldn't have been able to do anything for them digitally because the product was not being bought on Amazon. So we did have to go back to traditional modes of marketing. Now that's a very different example. Recently, about 2-3 months back, we were contacted by a wealth management firm. They're new in town. They're across other cities in the country, but they were launching in Goa. Now see, Goa is culturally very different. The way we think and the way we act once we finish thinking is very different from the way people do it in, say, a Mumbai or a Bangalore, right? Now you need to understand that, and they came to us saying, what can we do? We launched, nobody knows us, nobody knows our name. Now a brand name is so important. You know brand names, right? Shout out a brand name to me, come on, something that you use or something that you know. Any brand name. I need to hear 5 brand names loudly. Quick. I can't hear. Apple, okay, who else? Ladies. Spotify. Yeah, so you see that brand names are important. So they needed to establish their brand name saying, this company is in town and we are here to help you with your money and make you wealthy, right? What we did was go back to traditional methods. We again wrote a radio script for them. We got the RJs because they're very popular to read out why this company should be what you should be looking forward to. We put them on 2 cards, like mobile holdings, so that people passing by at least registered the name. You're not expecting sales to happen, you're not expecting money to come in, you're just expecting people to know that, okay, there's another guy in town who is going to help me manage my wealth. So there's different reasons why you go back to traditional mediums and you need to have your brand insights totally in place, your customer insights, not brand insights. You need to know the people, the communication, branding, marketing, production, manufacturing, everything is a function of understanding what your audience requires. And marketing is a big part of it. Thank you.
I think the target audience is important because, like you said, you mentioned making radio scripts for them. Now, ironically, just the other day I was talking to my students back in Father Alumni College, and from a class of 45, one of them listens to the radio. And I was quite stunned by this, but they listen to music, but YouTube and Spotify are their go-tos and not the radio. So I think, again, when she's speaking about marketing, as she pointed out, the target audience that you are aiming for, to create that visibility for your product, that really matters, because if she wanted to sell that same product to youngsters, clearly they would be paying more attention to the ads on Spotify than on the radio. So that is something that we have to keep in mind. Thank you so much, Reena. Coming to you, Mr. Blaze. When we talk about production, you immediately struggle as someone who values the idea. Like you said, you need to have people to have the idea before you can think about going online and dealing with all those technological changes. But yet in today's world, we would find one dilemma, and that is the availability of manpower. It isn't always possible for us to find skilled manpower. So do you feel that technology could help in this aspect?
There would be different ways of answering this, but manpower is something that you can't do without. It has to be there. Now, in Goa, everybody local wants to go to London to find his street scale gold. And everybody from the rest of India is coming to Goa and finding the street scale gold. So you can see that. Back in 2016 or 19, just before Brexit, we lost 16 local. So in the past, we went to and we not been able to replace them. I thought that COVID everybody was coming back, but that didn't work. And so, from 100% local, we are now at 20 replacing that person, yes. There are a lot of things that are happening that you can replace. One is you don't replace the person, but if the person leaves, the new person can take over. So you have to have system in place. Like I have a management software where everything is going through the person is skill. And you train that new person very fast. That is, if you have more money, you can do it globally. They are becoming a big team now. I was in new manufacturing practices, and robots are doing so many jobs. So you instead of a person building, you can have a robot everywhere. When same spot every day, every minute, without playing for key breaks. So robots are coming, but they are not going to be for smaller companies. They are used by bigger companies. So they are coming. A lot of things are happening where maybe I can tell you the joke. Someone was talking, and as they watched this bridge being constructed, and what Mr. A asked Mr. B, why are you using so many people? Why don't you use a machine to dig? So he said, no, if you use a machine to dig, then what will happen to the job? So this guy said, oh, so you're not building a bridge, you are giving employment. So why don't you use a teaspoon? And you will make more people employed. So I think that reflects that jobs are not lost to technology. They are reoriented or they keep going on. So you see the operating way. Imagine that being with the people or carrying a basket of cement to try and build that bridge. It's not going to be possible. Maybe you would still be going to the traffic jam. I wouldn't have accepted this invitation because I don't know, that was in Nigeria. But technology, I think you have a crane operator, you have a crane rolling driver. There's so many things that have come. So these guys lifting on the head and now doing that job, bringing upscale. So that's it's not going to be replaced, but it's going to change the function.
But adding to that, if you don't mind, while jobs will be reoriented, we still see that one machine could probably do the job of 5 people. So don't you still feel that would be a dilemma people encounter?
No, I don't see it. We are now making code. If you look at any product, you take if you still have glass bottles of milk, you need like 5,000 trucks in the morning to deliver the amount of milk because of the load. So the glass bottle can only take X number in your truck. With the plastic pouches, you can take 500. So the amount that we are making, the bricks that you saw, you make small bricks, now you make 3 or 4 kilometers. So you can make it bigger, you can make it faster. You can do more. It's now, it's the scale. It's not that you're not going to eat bigger because all the bricks are. You want to build a bridge on the top. Metro is going over the fire. Someone asked, why did you think about it here? Went to Mobile. It's more than the same time. But it's possible to you keep creating more jobs.
Alright, thank you very much. I will now include you, Mr. Pavan, because the retail sector is really different from every other sector. In the retail sector, try and buy is the norm. You sort of depend on the human factor that we are talking about. So, would you say there is a need for a company to advance to some kind of technology that would make your system better? Because you did point out that you have to keep yourself updated with the needs of the customers. You have to make sure your systems are more efficient for them. So, what kind of technology can you see coming into the picture that will benefit your sector?
See, retail, when we talk about using technology, the first thing that comes to my mind is about, say, 15 years ago, we used to buy books. When I just got out of MBA college and we went to buy books, Crossword, bookshop. We would just look at them and then go on Flipkart and buy the books. That's how, I don't think any of you all remember, but the people on the days will show me. But we used to do that, and even now it continues. So even now there's a lot of shopping that happens that we go into the checking out in the store, we end up placing the order online. So the other thing is, like from a retail perspective, like Chroma today, they have a website. If I want to buy something, I go to the website, check it out, I place the order, it gets delivered from my Kororim or Bhargav or Vasco outfit. So the future, they buy space today, we have in Kororim. I'm a hybrid between distributing and retail, but the idea is to set up a website. I do have a website which I'm not using, but tomorrow my plan is to have at least 5 stores across Goa, which will deliver inverters or maybe certain top 3 products that we need. The order will be getting through our website. The other thing that I use a lot is I force, the only place I intervene is to talk to my customers to ask them for reviews. I don't care even if it's a 1-star or it's a 5-star, but I make sure if you don't have a Google account, make a Google account and review it. I have 288 reviews as a small shop. That's pretty big because I don't think I force people to give reviews. What happens because of this is because my page is populated. Whenever a person searches for water purifier today on Google, gets my page. So, as an interesting example, if I look for a carpenter, there is a Munna Bhai carpenter in Kororim. So the future is going to be about how we discover services. We can use these social media, we can use Google, we can use technology to get discovered, to get reviewed, and use those reviews to create a new for us. So I think we can use that.
Alright, thank you very much. Another point that I wanted to talk about is when you go for e-commerce, one of the things we need to notice is the use of AI, that is in terms of chatbots being there to provide round-the-clock assistance. Now, while they definitely can elevate human behavior and do a great job at it, don't you feel that this increases increasing use of technology like this might lead to a dissatisfied customer base eventually, because there is only so far that they can go in understanding the needs of the customer and responding to all of their queries. Whether it's travel agencies or whatever, they all have these features. So do you think it could lead to that?
So let me just give you an analogy over here. Okay, when I was in HDFC Bank in 2005, we had about say 5,000 customers in that branch. Today we probably have about 15,000 customers. Has the number of employees and the square feet space changed? Be it in retail, the two important aspects of square feet space and the number of employees that we have. They haven't. Why? Because the bank today, and this is the concept that Citibank did. The bank, this is way 20 years back before we talked about AI and all of that. They spoke about moving customers to net banking. They are not, and in fact, I am a preferred customer of HDFC Bank, but I haven't met an employee of the bank in the last 1 year at all. Everything from booking to closing an FD, cash deposit, I do in the ATM today. Has it made me an unsatisfied customer? No, not at all. The option, so instead of having 50 customer service executives, they can, make do with those services and have just 2 or 3. Whenever it doesn't happen on the chatbot, whenever it doesn't happen through the net banking, I can always approach. Now, the concept of job versus will definitely happen. So it's like, somebody saying the other day in Mumbai, like, oh, now the metros happened, so many cabbies are unhappy, they are losing their jobs, oh God, we should do something about them. So that's something, 30 years ago, Lalu Prasad Yadav opposed, let's give an example. Some politicians opposed computerization in Bihar saying that we have so much population, what will they do? That will hire us. So if that is the way we approach, the interesting thought is we talk about tourism. India is the place in the last 20 centuries, everybody wanted to come to either loot or to spend. But today, after 20 centuries, we are not even in the top 20 countries for tourism. So we can move all these people for tourism. There's so much jobs that we can recreate if that is the thought of But the AI thing, technology is definitely here to stay. I'm thinking that offline stores, I might have to seriously reconsider making myself a small space and move more on e-commerce. That is the future. That is definitely the future.
Alright, thank you very much. On that same train of thought, talking about AI technology, we come to you, Mr. Prashant. What would you say are some recent advancements that are surfacing, or at least ideas that are populated in the growing business economy?
So I was just looking at the participants, many times I could see half the participants, their heads went down on the mobile. They are checking out some reels and seeing the latest news. Or maybe they are trying to verify whether what we are saying is really true or false. I don't know. But the point here is we are so much addicted to some kind of technology. So whether it is, Mr. Kostubir spoke about construction. Today, 3D printing has come into construction. Lot many things are just built by machines. That's about buildings, maybe about the house. Let's talk about the food. We are influenced so much by what comes on the media, what comes on our reels, WhatsApp, by Swiggy, promotions, discounts, everything. And even if you don't want, we are forced to eat. Now about cooking. I'm just talking about the fundamentals of life. You may have so much of shirts and pants and dresses in your cupboard which you may not be using simply because it's available for a discount. And we heard earlier that you speak about saying, oh, this is a nice dress, and suddenly it is picked up in the back end by technology, and then they start showing you different dresses which is similar to what you have acknowledged or liked. So these are the impact of technology. You are not far away. You are watched every minute of your time. You have become an addict of technology. So now the thing is, how do we utilize technology in a good way? Do you want to be a victim of technology, or you want to be a master of technology is the decision you have to take. So to become a master of technology, one way is you start an enterprise, become an entrepreneur, and leverage technology to make a difference in the society and to make a difference in people's lives. For example, there are many companies, there is a few of them who are funded. For example, Sweetly is a very famous company which is helping to open up doors and other things electronically. Then legal tech, there is a company which is again funded very well by government, like then fast track we spoke about. Fast track is a very crucial thing, it saves time and it gives so much of data at the back end that so many things can be done. So that is done by a local company which has tied up with all the banks, started value. So there are a lot of companies which I can think of which are going to change the way which we live, change or going to change the future. But we also have good local companies. It is not about growing big and making huge differences. Like for example, like Sia, she is also leveraging on technology. She started she was at Fire a new period of time. Today she has 10 employees. She has moved out, having her own office and doing. Reena also. Blaze anyway has been an entrepreneur for a very long time. But they are using technology and leveraging this. This cannot be taken away. And the only option for you, which is left for you, is whether you want to be a victim or whether you want to be a master. That's a choice you have to make, and it's in your hand.
Very nicely put. If we had any potential or interested entrepreneurs in our audience, wouldn't you say that today technology has made it much easier for them to get their ideas out there and maybe to grab attention and even receive funding as opposed to what it was a couple of years ago when technology wasn't there? Because recently I heard about a 23-year-old coming up with a startup that uses plastic waste to make footwear, diaries I think it's called. And he grabbed the attention of Anand Mahindra, and Mahindra said that he was ready to fund the startup. And they are already selling their products outside the country. So wouldn't you say that technology has given these guys quite an advantage as opposed to earlier?
So a few years back when we were in the industrial revolution era, it was all about production, right? It was producing great products and so on. And the richness was there, the money was there, and the growth was there. And today we are saying that, and during that point of time we are saying we are moving towards the knowledge economy. So I was really struggling to understand what is the meaning of knowledge economy and how it's going to transform. So what it literally means is today if you have an idea, even without doing anything, you can transform that idea into money. Now, to build a company, normally like engineers will come out with some ideas, some products, they will build something, and you definitely need business people, the BBAs and the MBAs to help them to convert that idea into commercial product. So the first and fundamental role is there is a lot of scope for teamwork. Without a team, without a proper team, this is not going to happen. So please understand that if you have an idea, it's great. But even if you don't have an idea, if you go and look out for ideas from people who are technically sound, technically qualified, and you become a partner of that company, it will be a huge service for them. Because they don't know how to run a company, they don't know how to actually build a company and make it commercially viable. We are the people who are learning it in college, we are the people who are getting trained, and you have a role to convert that. Now, as far as converting an idea is concerned, there are many opportunities today. If you are a college student, government is giving you funding to work on your idea. And if the idea doesn't work, and if it is a failure, what is the outcome? When you go for an interview, you can tell the person who is interviewing you, I started a company. I took government funding, but I failed. And the chances for you to get employed is much more higher than the person who has not done anything in life, because you have been proactive to do something good. So the greatest takeaway, even if you fail in your startup when you are in college, is that you get a better job. Or the chances for you to get a better job is much more higher. Now, once you come out of college, if you want to start a business, and you say, okay, I have a business, I have a job opportunity, what do I choose? There is a scheme of the government where you get a scholarship of up to 30,000 rupees per month for a period of 1 year. Simply to try your idea. They say, we will take care of your expenses, provided you have a great idea and you want to pursue that. Once you find that this is the idea I want to do, I want to build a prototype and see how it is working out, government will give you a grant of 10 lakhs rupees. And once you have built your prototype, you want to go out and actually start your company. There are a lot of funding opportunities from institutional funding, which you can get maybe maximum up to 50 lakhs of rupees. Now, this is as far as government funding is concerned, which is much more easier to do. And if your idea is good, there are a lot of people with money, whom we call HNIs, high net worth individuals, or people who want to invest in new technologies. It could be if somebody is working on a certain, if somebody is the owner of a, say Mahindra we spoke about. Mahindra is having interest in vehicles. Tomorrow you have an idea around vehicles and you want to talk to them and say, okay, this is my idea, I want to sell it to you. They will pay you for that. You can have a patent of it, you can own it, and you will be funded by, ABC companies, whoever is interested to take your idea forward. So what is required today is for you to be more learned. Rather than spending your time on, going through things which is not going to help you grow, if you are, because this is also an enabling tool, YouTube, WhatsApp, LinkedIn, Internet. This is an opportunity for you to understand what is happening in the world, who are getting funded, which are the companies doing great, which industry is going down, which industry is coming up. And if you build your ideas around this, even if it doesn't succeed, you will end up being much more smarter, better, and a better employee than what you are today. So I think these are certain things which, as youngsters, we should all be trying, because there is support from everywhere, funding is available. I just want to tell you one more thing. There's one scheme called Chief Minister's Rozgar Yojana. Anybody who is around about 18 years of age can avail PMBGP, who is about 21 years of age, can utilize Chief Minister's Rozgar Yojana. You can start your own business. So these are very, very easy things to do. The hard days are gone.